Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasayang papawid 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Welcome. Happy Thursday nga, no? Now, a bit of bad news. My co-conspirator, si SONNY, wala nga ngayon si Mr. LARAGAN. So you have me, and I hope you enjoy it. And of course, Direk Pao, no? Who's working very hard to keep us nga on air. So welcome nevertheless. I'm pleased to be here, and belated happy Easter. And for new viewers, ang pangalan ko po LIRA Simong CABATBAT. I'm a solicitor of 31 years post-qualification experience now. Gosh, 31 years, ang dami na, no? And I specialize nga among sa things on immigration po. So hopefully you will enjoy today's topic. So 1 week since a little bit less than 1 week nga, no, since Easter time. So hopefully you had a good break, and hopefully you enjoyed nga your Easter. It's always it's obviously an important occasion nga, Easter, especially kung to celebrate with family, and of course to mark Easter, because obviously it's an important religious event. So I hope you had a good Easter, and that you're ready for today's Happy Thursday. Look, last week wala ako dahil I had a work emergency. I could not, unfortunately, come along. So but today I am raring to go. Ang topic natin was going to be last week, immigration jargon, no? And so today I have that already nga for you. So pag-uusapan po natin ngayong gabi nga, is the immigration jargon, and it means exactly that. So ibig sabihin the things that are confusing, no? So meron kayong sulat galing sa home office. Hindi nyo nga it's confusing because it's using legal terms. At saka hindi nga lang yun, solicitor nyo, no? Like me. Oftentimes kami, we use jargon, we use language nga that we assume that's alam namin, but it of course does not mean na alam nga ng kliyente namin, because they're quite complex, no? Language, the legal language. On top of that, if it's something like immigration, so some solicitors would not even know certain phrasing, certain words nga. So yun po pag-uusapan natin. So it's actually quite a big topic, no? Now, batian natin, of course, mamaya, make sure, please do. I so look forward to the batian nga. Make sure that you do, you email, you post nga your messages. Babasahin namin lahat mamaya kami ni Paula, no? So please do that, because it is. I mean, I love talking about the topic, and I, of course, I so enjoy yung mga questions nga. But the best part, I do think, sa akin, the best part of the Happy Thursday Immigration Corner po natin sa akin is yung mabati nyo. So please, kahit nga wala si SONNY, and I'm sorry that wala nga siya, don't forget, batiin nyo ako, no? I would really appreciate it, no? And I also have a few shout-outs nga mamaya. So, yes, ito pong topic natin nga, immigration jargon explained. I tell you what, immigration jargon, you can write a book about it, and tsaka we would be here all night if we went through all the possible immigration jargon nga. But ngayong gabi, we're going to concentrate nga on the more common ones. So things like nga, anong ibig sabihin ng Immigration Nationality Directorate? Anong ibig sabihin UKBA, no? Some people call it UKBA, UK Border Agency. So yung pong pag-uusapan natin. And I do think nga importante po yun, especially if you have an immigration case, no? Or later on, okay, mayroon kayong mga kaibigan, kamag-anak nga, they say to you, ano bang ibig sabihin nito? O kaya, just the card, yung card nyo, no? Nandun yung visa, yung pag-uusapan po natin. So it's a wide-ranging topic. And actually quite an interesting topic nga. Hopefully nga it's useful nga to you. So yon. So ang pag-uusapan muna natin ngayon ito nga, immigration jargon explained, and we're going to launch into that immediately, no, after the break. But please, no, stay tuned. Keep me company, and of course Paula.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasahing papawid 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Welcome back po. Happy Thursday po uli, no? It's thank you for joining us today. Happy on a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday evening. Anong oras na nga? It's just slightly short of 8 o'clock, no? Mag-alas 8 na nga. But yeah, happy Thursday po. And thank you for joining us, no? Ang pangalan ko po, LIRA Simong CABATBAT. I practice with Douglas Simon Solicitors, and I am now 31 years qualified experience nga in immigration po. And now, sorry to say, wala nga si Sonny ngayon, unfortunately. But you have me, and I hope you will enjoy my company, as I'm sure I will enjoy yours. And of course, we have Direct Paula, who is working very hard in the background, keeping us on. So I've been so looking forward nga to today. The last week, I missed it last week dahil meron kong work emergency nga. So I was so looking forward to talking about this topic now last week. So I had to wait a whole week, before we can talk about it. And of course, Easter had passed. So hopefully you had also an enjoyable Easter, and you and your family enjoyed the time, the break also, hopefully. So ito pong topic natin, immigration jargon explained. Okay, it is it's one of those really massive topics, and truly you can write a book, no? That ang dami nga, and often nga, every day actually, new words, if you like, new phrases come into play. There are cases nga, of course, there are new law, but there there are also words and phrases that are lagi nga, no? Laging ginagamit, and more likely you come across it. And for some, no, alam nga nilang ibig sabihin, but for others, nakakalito. So today, ang topic po natin is with ito, immigration jargon explained. Immigration jargon busted, busted really. So it's so we're going to be talking about ano ba ibig sabihin, no? So now, starting with really anong ibig ba sabihin? So the home office, no? So when people say okay, galing to itong decision galing sa home office, they also refer to that as in the past ang tawag nga Immigration Nationality Directorate, IND, no? You've seen that in older letters. Yung po, that was the old term for the current part of the home office that deal nga with immigration, yung UKVI. Pag-usapan nga din na yun. So yung pagka meron kayo nakita IND, yung sulat, ibig sabihin yung sulat na yung matanda na, no? Dahil nga it would have been written a good few years ago when they were still called IND. I can't remember na, siguro about 10 years, maybe longer ago, yung tawag sa kanila IND. So it is part of the home office. Ngayon tawag na UKVI. There was also something called UK Border Agency, and oftentimes narinig ko yun, I've seen heard clients refer to as UKBA, no? UKBA, no? Again, yun ang dating tawag doon sa Immigration Nationality Directorate. So that came after, and that was the predecessor nga to this UKVI. Ngayon po ang tawag, no? Hindi na po IND, hindi na din po UKBA, hindi na UKBA, no? But it's now called the UK Visa and Immigration, UKVI. So yun po, that is part, pagka sabi nila, nag-decision galing sa home office, sure, tama po yun, no? Yung nga lang, yung home office, yun it's like the umbrella, no? Yung home office. So home office po, they also deal with the police, for example, no? So anything to do with the security in the United Kingdom is likely to be dealt with by the home office. So napakalaki. So generally, mga tao, solicitors, or indeed even politicians, they make reference to the home office. No? But within the home office, yung department nga na pahala sa immigration, ang tawag po sa kanila UKVI. That's the UK Visa and Immigration. Yun ang panibagong tawag. So whenever you get a letter that is from UKVI, that's referring obviously to the home office or the department within the home office dealing with immigration. So kung yung mga decision, manggagaling yun sa UKVI within the home office, no? Within the United Kingdom, indeed outside, decisions nga. So the home office, as I say, is yung pinaka bahala nga sa lahat. So hindi nga lang sa immigration but also the police, for example, no? Now, when you get a decision from the home office, sabihin natin nagpasok nga kayong application, tapos binigyan kayo ng visa. Yung tatak po sa passport nyo, yung sticker, no? Usually it's yellow, and in some cases it's green because it's a visit visa, for example, but usually it's yellow, no? Itsura. Ang tawag po doon is a vignette, no? Ang tawag. So yun sticker ang itsura, no? So makikita nyo doon, so maigsi nga lang yung vignette, makikita nyo doon kailan mag-uumpisa, so it's starting date, and also the expiry date. During that time, kailangan pumasok dito sa UK. Maigsi nga lang yun, dahil pagka nandito na kayo, makukuha nyo yung card nyo, yung status card nyo nga, yung pag-uusapan din natin yun, yung BRP. So yun ipapalit doon sa vignette. So yung vignette nga, yung sticker nga lang. So yung nasa passport nga yun. Yun ang tawag ng mga, pagka sinabing solicit nyo, yung vignette nyo itong sabi. O sabihin nila, basahin nyo, ano ba sabi, picturean yung vignette, yun ang ibig nilang sabihin, yung sticker po, no, nandun sa passport. Pagka pumasok na kayo dito, no, makikita nyo din, titignan nyo yung vignette nyo sa passport, titignan nyo ng immigration officer pagka papasok na kayo, no. So, ang gagawin nila, pagka nandun na kayo sa airport nga, no, bago kayo papasukin sa UK, tatatakan nila yun. So, ibig sabihin, nandoon nga yung, it's been activated then, the visa. So yung tatak nila, doon nila mismo ilalagay doon sa sticker. Makikita niyo doon. So next time, pagka gusto niyo malaman, yung solicitor gusto nang malaman, kailan kayo dumating nga dito, doon ang titingnan nila, nandoon, no? So, sometimes nga lang, malabo. Kung malabo, nakita nyo malabo, sabihin nyo, raise it with the immigration officer. Sabihin mo nga lang, okay, malabo nga lang to. Is there any way it can be clarified, no? Because I've seen that sometimes. It's difficult also to see. And sometimes, importante nga yun, dahil kailangan natin malaman kung kailan kayo pumasok sa UK. Now, pagka nandito na kayo, no? Kukolektahin nyo yung card nyo. Para bang itsura malit na, yung dito ay lisensya ang itsura, no? Ganoong card, parang credit card. So that is often called a biometric residence permit o biometric residence card. So most of the time, ito yung mga solicitor, sabihin nila, nasa ang BRP mo, biometric residence permit. So nandun po nakatatak yung visa nyo mismo. So kailan nagumpisa, kailan matatapos, at saka ano bang klaseng visa yon? O spouse visa, for example, kung nandito kayo dahil it's to do nga with your marriage in the United Kingdom, for example. So yun po, yung BRP. Now, don't forget, harap at saka likod yun, ano? So kung pipicturean nyo o photocopy nyo, huwag nyo kalimutan din yung likod. Dahil nandun sa likod, apart from the some additional security features, nandun sa likod nga, so it could be any restriction, so no recourse to public funds if you can't get state benefit nga dito sa UK. So pagka, as I say, papicturean yun, and I always say to clients nga, pagka nakakuha kayo ng visa, picturean yung passport nyo, especially yung photo section ng passport nyo, at saka yung visa mismo, just in case mawala, no? Ganun din gawin nyo para sa BRP, harap at saka likod, no? Every time you get a BRP, take a photo, and then yung telepono nyo, well, most phones now you have the possibility of edit, no, caption, lagay nyo nga din yun, BRP for whatever year, no, yung petsa nga, no, because you will get other BRPs potentially later on. Importante nga din kunan nyo ng picture, dahil pagka nakakuha kayo ng panibagong picture, if you as you know, no, kailangan nyo i-surrender nga yung lumang BRP. So, ibig sabihin, mawawala na yun. Then, you're cutting it up and you're surrendering it back to the Home Office or UKVI. No? So, importante po meron kayong kopya. At saka yun nga, kung just in case nga mawala, nagbiyahe kayo, tapos biglang nawala, no? Nadukutan kayo, sabihin natin, no? So, at least meron kayong mapapakita nga ebidensya na meron kayong visa. And that may help later on kung kailangan kumuha kayong panibagong passport, sabihin natin kailangan kukuha ng passport, tapos kailangan yung patatakan, no? Sa embassy dahil hindi kayo makapasok nga dito. So, take a photo. Importante po yun. Now, applications. Now, applications can be on many grounds, okay? So, kung kasal kayo, no? So, spouse, it could be that you referred to as a spouse. And most of the time, especially na ngayon, no? Ang tawag na, I often say to clients, rather than saying spouse, I refer to them as partners. But it's not actually, strictly speaking, correct, no? Spouse spouse means kasal nga kayo. Yeah? Partner means ang visa nyo, it's similar conditions actually, exactly the same conditions as a spouse. Yung nga lang, you don't have to necessarily be married, partner nga kayo. Yung nga, kailangan yung pakita na at least 2 years kayo nagsasama nga, so under the partner route, no? So there's a difference between a spouse visa and if you like a reference to a partner visa, pero terminology lang po nga yun. Makukuha nyo, the conditions should be the same if you're a partner here or if you are indeed here as a spouse. Now, another thing that's confusing sometimes, staying with the family type applications, is child, child or children. Alam natin, of course, kahit nga may edad ng anak nyo, no? 30, 40 na nga sila o 50 na sila. Of course, they're still your child. So when you make reference to child, then of course kasama sila, anak nyo pa rin nga, no? But for the Home Office, for the legal definition when you're talking about child with in Home Office terms, yung anak nyo is under the age of 18. No? Anyone over the age of 18, usually they're not referred to anymore as your child in immigration terms. Okay? So pagka nakita niyo yung mga conditions, so sabihin doon you need to be a spouse or you're a child of the applicant, they normally mean nga under the age of 18. So ingat kayo. So kung anak niyo over the age of 18 na nga, do not assume, because you would be wrong, no, that they can come in as your dependent. No? Because more often than not, most cases, hindi po pwede. Kung nandun pa sila sa Pilipinas, kukunin nyo nga sila. And you want to bring in your children into the United Kingdom. That normally excludes a child, your child nga, yung anak nyo, kung over 18 na nga sila. No? Now, when you make an application, and again, one of the things that confuses people, yung mga forms, no? Ano ba, so may iba-iba no? So merong FLRO, merong FLRM, merong SET-O, FLRHR, ganoon, no? So makikita niyo yun, usually when you're making an application, say for extension of visa in the United Kingdom. FLR just means further leave to remain. You know, that's just abbreviation. So FLRO, ibig sabihin, that's usually used for the general applications, no? FLRM, further leave to remain, M po, matrimonial or marriage, no? So you use that for spouse applications, for example. SET-O, no? SETO, tapos in brackets O, yung po for indefinite leave to remain, but the general one. SET-M, no, would be the indefinite leave to remain application, but to do with a spouse, no, matrimonial or marriage nga. So don't be, importante po din, no, na of course you choose the correct application, no? So make sure nga bago yung kompletuhin, basahin yung maigi. At the front there should be some guidance naman but it's online. So you can also go on the Home Office website, makikita nyo doon yung guidance notes. Is this the right form for you? There's actually a section that says, is this the right form for you? Importante po yun, dahil kung kompleto nyo yung mali yung form na i-submit nyo, it could be that it's rejected. No? Kung may reject po yun, tapos na matatapos ng visa nyo, then you may find that actually, no, napahamak yung visa nyo, because there's then the continuity of your visa is then cut. No? Importante po yun if you're making an application later on under the long residence route or indeed kahit nga British passport or naturalization. So make sure you complete the right form. Now, on that note, pagka sinabi nyo, kung kailangan nyo extension, what you're asking the Home Office to do is give you what's called leave to remain. Extension po yun. Meron na kayong visa dito, yung nga lang kailangan yung panibago, extending the visa, leave to remain in the UK. Now, if you're coming into the United Kingdom, so nandun kayo, sasabihin natin, nasa Pilipinas kayo, no? Papasok nga kayo dito. Then, ang tawag doon ay leave to enter the United Kingdom. Papasok nga kayo. No? Otherwise, it's leave to remain in the UK pagka mag-i-extend kayo. Now, kung mag-i-indefinite na nga kayo, ang tawag po usually, and this is very familiar to most, I'm sure, is indefinite leave to remain, ILR. No? That's similar, no, to settlement. Pero yung settlement, pagka sabihin nila, may settlement visa ko, that normally, from an immigration practitioner, that normally refers to the EU settlement scheme. No? So, kung hindi pa kayo makakakuha ng settled status nga dito, then it could be that you get pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme. But most of the time, yung indefinite leave to remain, settlement visa, or indeed permanent residence, they're interchangeable, no? So, but they all mean nandito kayong permanente, meron nga kayong visa na dito. Now, again, going on from that, sabihin natin meron na kayong indefinite leave to remain, tapos gusto nyo maging British na nga dito, no? The next immigration jargon is yung naturalization. Yeah? So maraming mga kliyente, sabi nila sa akin, gusto ko na maging British. And normally it means sa kanila, kukuha na sila ng British passport. Pero hindi po yung basta-basta. Kailangan nyo muna kumuha ng naturalization. Yeah? Iba po yun sa British passport. Yung British passport, that happens after you become naturalized. So ibig sabihin, you apply to become British. Once you have the naturalization certificate, British na nga kayo kahit wala pa kayong passport. Yung passport later on, no? That's a separate application. It's submitted also to a different section, the passport office nga. Ang una nga, indefinitely muna, no? Settled status na nga kayo dito. Pagka natapos na nga yun, then the next thing possibly that you want to look at is yung naturalization po, no? Now, pagka nakuha nyo ng naturalization application, the next thing din sasabihin nila, okay, you need to take your oath ceremony, okay? So you go to your local registrar, you swear your allegiance to, well, I was going to say the queen, no, of course now the king, huh? You swear your allegiance to the king and his heirs, and then bibigyan kayo ng certificate after the ceremony. Yun ang kailangan yung pasok sa passport office to get your new passport, the British passport nga, okay? Don't confuse nga the naturalization process with the British passport application process dahil iba po yun. And certainly iba nga din yung oath ceremony, no? Now, another common terminology is yung applicant, no? Pagka sinabi ng solicitor niyo sa inyo, oh, your wife is the applicant or your husband is the applicant in this matter, no? Kayong sponsor. So, ibig sabihin, sila nga, ang application sila. So, it doesn't even matter na mga dokumento magagaling sa iyo as the sponsor, no? The applicant in this case, yung asawa nyo. So, they would be called the applicant. Dahil application nga sa kanila, no? Same goes for children, no? Kahit nga bata pa sila under the age of 18, even though, of course, kayo nga ang main applicant nga din sila. So that's what it means really. Iba po yung applicant sa appellant, no? Appellant ibig sabihin may refusal and you submitted an appeal. So most of the time makikita niyo dun sa sulat. So you are an applicant, no? And then in the grounds of appeal, ang tawag na sa inyo, it switches from applicant in fact then to an appellant. Appellant kayo. If there are many of you, marami kayo sa buo kayong pamilya, then you would have a number of applicants. So appellant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, no? Now, within that, so that's of course if you're appealing, huh? Now, with appeals, and this is probably the most confusing section nga, no? So appeals po, iba po yun sa judicial review. Iba din po yun sa administrative review. Yung solicitor nyo, kung meron kayong problema, na-refuse nga kayo, kailangan nilang sabihin sa inyo, i-explain nga sa inyo, ano bang challenge, ano bang proseso? Are you going to appeal? Are you going to submit judicial review application? Or are you going to submit administrative review? Those are totally different processes. At saka iba po ang consequences. Appeal generally is a better route. So, ibig sabihin it goes to a first-year tribunal judge. So, it's a tribunal nga. They can hear evidence and you can submit nga statements. And most of the time, I would say siguro 70 if not 80% of the time, yung mangyayari. So, you go to first-year tribunal. So, you're appealing. And then after that, you potentially would go to the upper tribunal if you're appealing against appeal. Pero in judicial review, iba po yun. Judicial review, you're challenging not the substance of the decision, but the process that got to that decision. So, typically, it would be, sabihin natin, hindi nila tinignan yung guidance nga nila mismo. Okay? And that's the reason why you're judicially reviewing it. Between the two, no, if I have a choice, and most of the time you don't have a choice, no, I would always go for the appeal because it has more possibilities in the way of redress. Judicial review, less so. Dahil sabihin natin, nanalo kayo sa judicial review. Hindi naman ibig bibigyan kayong visa. It just means the court would then say, well, hang on, home office, nagkamali kayo dun sa prosesong ginamit nyo, no? In making this decision because you did not apply the right process. So you have to apply the correct process. Hindi naman ibig sabihin, bibigyan kayong visa. So what will then happen is the Home Office will apply or should apply the right process, but they may still come to the conclusion na hindi pa rin kayo entitled sa visa. So between the two, it's always my choice is my choice would always be nga the appeal. Administrative review, again, iba po yun. Yeah? So appeal, it would be the better one. Judicial review, if you have to. And administrative review is probably the most pointless one, frankly. So administrative review is actually looked at by the home office mismo. So yung sabihin sa may decision sila, no? Administrative review means that you go back to the home office and you say to them, "Oh, nagkamali kayo. Look at this again." So it's the home office reviewing the home office's refusal. My experience is not very effective administrative review. Very rarely, no, do they change their minds. Administrative review, unfortunately. But the three are quite distinct, no? Iba-iba po yun. So appeal, judicial review, and administrative review, iba po yun. Make sure, kung hindi kayo sigurado, get your solicitor to explain it to you. Because the process are quite different also, and what you need to submit are also quite different. And what you get at the end of it po, iba din, no? So it's not actually it's not the most the easiest of topic. So if you don't understand it fully, ask. No, do not be shy. The importante po yun. Now let's say going on the more positive. So sabihin natin you're here or you want to come into the United Kingdom nga to work. No, okay. So most of a lot of my clients sabi na, ano bang ibig sabihin ng COS? COS. No. COS means the Certificate of Sponsorship. Yeah. Yun ang it's a virtual reference number. Hindi na po yung papel, no? It's a reference number. Yung kailangan bigay ng employer or prospective employer sa inyo, no? That you then also note on the application, the skilled worker route, for example, application. That way you get the necessary points in order to be able to come into the United Kingdom as a worker. Yun pong ibig sabihin ng COS. The Certificate of Sponsorship. Yung Certificate of Sponsorship that can only come from an employer who has a sponsorship license. Okay? Hindi lahat-lahat. Now, kung manggagaling kayo sa Pilipinas, sabihin natin nga, ang bibigay sa inyo is what's called defined COS, defined Certificate of Sponsorship, dahil you're coming in from abroad. If you are already in the United Kingdom, no, ang ibibigay sa inyo is what's called undefined COS. No? But it's still COS, Certificate of Sponsorship. Kung mag-aaral nga kayo dito, then it's different. It's called Confirmation of Acceptance. It's called CAS, Confirmation of Acceptance. Galing yun sa university o college nyo, no? So that would be kung papasok nga kayo dito either to study, in which case, of course, student visa nga. So it would be under tier 4, okay? O yung in the olden days, work permit, and then after that, tier 2, ngayon tawag na po skilled worker route, no? Magtatrabaho nga kayo dito, okay? Now, pwede nyo ding dalhin, sabihin natin, papasok nga kayo as a skilled worker, pwede nyo dalhin yung dependents nyo. So, anong ibig sabihin ng dependents? Dependents means partner of more than 2 years o kaya asawa nyo, no? Kung kasal nga kayo, at saka mga anak. And as I said before, anak, ibig sabihin po those under the age of 18. So kung balak nyo, so kung meron kayong ang panganay nyo, sabihin natin magi-18 na, balak nyo pumasok nga dito, do it now. Now, pagka over age na sila, over 18, then they're no longer regarded in the coming in from abroad, coming into the UK as a child, no? So then lagpas na sila ng 18 Kung nandito na sila and they have they entered the United Kingdom before they were age 8, they were granted the visa before they were age 18. Nandito na nga sila, then may posibilidad nga na pwede na extend even though they're over the age of 18 in the United Kingdom. So, again, beware. Anong ibig sabihin dependent? Dependent is limited to yung asawa nyo, okay? O partner nyo over the age, over 2 years, o kaya anak but under the age of 18. No? Now, sabihin natin nagpasok yung application and then may nangyari, masama, no? You've had a refusal and it goes further. So they want to get, they want you to leave the United Kingdom. The two legal terms that are often confused is deportation and removal. Okay? Most people, I would say 90% ng mga tao, they are removed from the United Kingdom. So, ibig sabihin, papaalisin nga kayo dito. And it normally means it's a breach of immigration condition o kaya it was not, it's a refusal nga, no? Deportation, iba po yun. Deportation is actually much more serious than removal. Deportation means usually there's some kind of criminal aspect, no, attached to it. And deportation, if you're deported from the United Kingdom, the time the time that you can't come back to the United Kingdom is far longer. It's 10 years, no. If you remove from the United Kingdom, it could be that you can come back to the UK after, say, 12 months, after 1 year, or 2 years, or 5 years. But deportation normally, because there's some criminality involved, you're looking at a minimum 10 years exclusion, no, from the United Kingdom. So it's not importante nga din that you're clear about anong ibig sabihin. Because if someone says to you, they were going to be deported, that's obviously far worse than you're going to be removed from the United Kingdom. No, because removal from the United Kingdom, it could be that after only 12 months you can make another application. Now, sabihin natin nandito na nga kayo, no? The common things that people again they get concerned about or come across but may not necessarily understand is what's called employment checking service. Okay, employment checking service is quite different from the identity check, but employment checking service usually is used by your employer. So mangyayari nga, they check if you can actually work in the United Kingdom. Okay, that's quite different from checking if you are here properly and can therefore rent in the United Kingdom. If your landlord wants to check, employment checking service is used by the employer. And sasabihin nila, do you actually have visa that allows you to work in the United Kingdom? And they're usually quite quick in coming back now with the result. Now, the other things that also sponsor, an visa sponsor. That usually it can also still cause confusion, no? Then sometimes you think na dahil ikaw nga ang kukuha ng tao, ikaw ang applicant, no? But hindi po yung tama. If you are then the sponsor. Yung applicant po, yun yung taong kukunin nyo. So sabihin natin meron kayong kaibigan sa atin, no, sa Pilipinas. Gusto siyang imbitahin nga dito to visit, na visitor nga lang. The applicant then is yung kaibigan nyo na nasa Pilipinas na papasok nga dito. Even though kayo ang effectively you are the sponsor, kayo kukuha nga, kayo nag-iimbita, hindi kayo applicant. And you're not actually entitled to documents, no, that belong to the applicant. So kung nagpasok nga, kahit ikaw yung tumulong nga sa kanyang magpasok ng application, you're still not entitled to the documents because you're not the applicant. Sponsor po kayo. So it's as I've said, there's so many legal jargons that we would be here all night if we went through all of them, and even then hindi pa rin matatapos, no? And I'm sure we would miss things out. But those if you like, the legal terms are the more common ones that my clients come across. And ang advice ko po, kung hindi nyo naintindihan, kung hindi nyo alam kung anong ibig sabihin, ask, huwag kayong mahiya. Because it could be, importante po yun. You should know, of course, anong klaseng application papasok para sa inyo. So kung sabihin nila, magpasok tayo ng FLRO, ano ba, on what basis would that be? No? Leave to remain. No? Why leave to remain but not indefinite leave to remain? Huwag kayong mahiya. Ask the question. No? That's why we're there, no, mga solicitors. We must explain to you ano ba ibig sabihin. We must not assume na alam nyo nga, because why would you? No? Like I would certainly not know medical terms, no, And I would definitely ask, no? Kung hindi ko maintindihan ang ibig sabihin nito. Same goes for legal terms. Importante po, so huwag kayong mahiya. And truly, solicitors should not mind, and they don't, no? Kami, I really don't mind kung sabihin ng client ko sa akin so ang papasok nating application, ano bang ibig sabihin ng LTR, leave to remain? Happy to explain. Do not be shy about it, no? So bear all this in mind. Ang gagawin ko as usual, I'll see if I can put it all together. Tapos i-upload ko po sa website namin, which is the Douglas Simon. So if you just Google Douglas with 2S tapos Simon, makikita nyo doon under the news bit, no? Yung updated articles, and I'll try my best nga to put the legal jargon, no, immigration corner on the website so that you can see what certain words may mean. Hopefully nga it helps. It's importante nga maintindihan, no? And again, I say again, I mean, I've said it many times nga, huwag kayong mahiya. Ask the question. That's why you have your solicitor, no? It's they don't mind or should not mind kung ano man, no? And sometimes also in asking the question, they find actually, it leads to other things na importante nga nakasama sa application nyo. So ask the question, and absolutely, kailangan nyo maintindihan nga mga legal jargons. And some of them are fairly okay to understand and remember, but most of them not, no? It's why would you come across a certificate of sponsorship, no? O kaya administrative review, o kaya judicial review. So again, okay, maya, ask the questions, no? Now, I hope that was useful. I enjoyed it, no? I do like talking about legal jargon, so perhaps it's understandable that I'm doing what I do because I've enjoyed that, and hopefully you have too. Now, marami ata tayong mga questions. Paula was telling me before. So shall we tackle those, Paula? What do you think? So umpisan na natin mga questions natin. Marami tayo eh. Okay, galing po to kay Carol. Carol S. No? Hello, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Quick question lang po. Do I have to return or surrender my Filipino passport as soon as I get my British passport to the Philippine Embassy? Maraming salamat po. Okay, Carol. Good question. Now, pagka nakakuha ka na ng British passport, or actually, pagka nakakuha ka na ng naturalization certificate mo, because at that point, British ka na nga, no? As I understand it, yung Philippine Embassy, they expect you then to undertake another process, oath taking for renunciate, either to keep, if you like, no, to retain your citizenship. So you would need then, as I understand it, a new passport. So, strictly speaking, you should surrender your old passport to the Philippine Embassy, because of course passports do not belong to you; they belong actually to the issuing embassy. But most of my clients, ginagawa nila, pagka nakakuha na sila ng British passport, they then do their oath taking also nga sa Philippine Embassy, and then at that point they get a new passport, because it's kind of nice to have the old passport as a keepsake. And so I don't actually know whether people even bother to surrender it. Strictly speaking, you should. Of course, it belongs to the Philippine Embassy. So may pangalawa tayong question, Paula. Okay, galing po to kay Lindsay. Hello, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. May question lang po ako. Yung cousin ko dito sa UK pinanganak. That time, hindi pa po ILR, so indefinite leave to remain. So there you go, legal jargon, Hindi pa po ILR holder ang uncle and auntie ko. Gusto po kasi sana naming mag-i-apply ng British citizenship yung cousin ko. Paano po kaya ang process? Thanks in advance. Lynn, this is a great question, no? Now, it's actually quite a complex question, Ire. No? So the first step really is nung So, nung nakakuha ng indefinite yung auntie-uncle mo, no? Kapapanganak, so dito siya pinanganak, no? Yung pinsan mo. And by then, nung pinanganak nga siya, hindi pa indefinite uncle auntie mo, no? Now, question ko over 18 na ba siya ngayon o under 18 siya, no? So it doesn't also matter kung uncle at auntie mo pareho silang indefinite na. You just need one parent. So kung under 18 yung bata, yung pinsan mo nga, tapos ang tatay niya o nanay niya indefinite na, pero nung pinanganak siya, hindi pa sila indefinite. Then yung bata can make an application for what's called registration. Hindi po yun immediately British passport. So unang-una, registration ang kailangan nga niya. Ang form na kailangan niyang kumpletuhin is called MN1. Okay? So mama, nanay, number 1. Okay? MN1 ang kailangan niya. Kung over 18 na siya, yung pinsan mo, no? Then they can still apply for registration, but most of the time, it may be easier, frankly, to simply apply for naturalization. Ang form po do yung AN1. Okay? Now, the main difference between registration, which you can still apply kahit nga over 18 ka na, and the naturalization is hindi nyo yung life in the UK test at yung English language, hindi nyo kailangan kung registration ang papasok nyo. But if you're making an application for naturalization, then you need that. So, kung under 18 yung bata, as I say, MN1, no? So, it would be a registration muna bago British passport. Pagka meron siyang registration certificate, noon nyo kailangan magpasok ng application for the British passport. So, yung bata nga makakuha ng first British passport. And again, it doesn't matter kung yung auntie mo hindi pa indefinite o sino man nauna, it matters not. As long as one parent has had indefinite leave to remain, the child can now make an application. Dahil dito nga siya pinanganak. So, hindi po siya automatic na British. Dahil nung pinanganak nga siya, hindi pa indefinite yung ama tsaka nanay nga niya. But of course, he or she would have indefinite leave settled status nga in the UK. And yung nga lang, you have the added process. Yung nga po, ang tawag registration. So the good news is you can, but not immediately. You do need the registration muna o kung over 18, the application for naturalization. So let me know kung ano nangyari, Carol, ha? Okay. Galing po to kay Thea M. Good evening to you both, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. My question is, if December 2024 ang expiration ng BRP ko, tanong ko lang po sana sa inyo kung kailan po dapat ako mag-renew. More power and God bless all viewers. Yeah, no, God bless, Thea. Okay. This again, great question. Okay. Now, ito po. Unang-una, BRP, that's the, again, going back to the legal jargon, biometric residence permit. Yung maliit nga, itsura parang credit card o lisensya, nandun yung visa. Now, most people, now getting extension of visa. Ang visa po, yung card, no, matatapos po yun December 2024. Kahit nga ngayon lang na ibigay sa inyo ang visa, yung card matatapos December 2024. Ang dahilan po yun, mawawala na ang plano ng gobyerno, plano ng Home Office, mawawala na, hindi na sila magbibigyan ng card. No? So, from the 31st of December 2024, things are going to be fine. So, kahit nga yung card mo, at ay matatapos na 31st December 2024, hindi po ibig sabihin na yung visa mo matatapos na din yun. Usually, the visa will go for longer than that. Now, nung natapos na yung application mo, no, the Home Office would have emailed you a letter. Nandun po sa sulat na yon kailan matatapos ang visa mo. So, you apply, the usual way, a few weeks, usually 28 days nga, bago matatapos yung visa mo, hindi yung card. So sabihin natin yung card mo matatapos 31st December 2024, no? Pero yung visa mo na nanggaling sa sulat nga sa home office, matatapos sabihin natin August, no? 2024, no? So lagpas pa. Ng application, you apply 28 days prior to August 2024. So the ending of the actual visa, not the ending of the BRP. Hindi din yung problema. So mangyayari na, ang plano ng gobyerno nga ngayon, everything will be online. So yung landlord, yung employer, anyway, so anyone and everyone, kung kailangan nyo ang chicken, kailangan mo pakita na may visa ka nga, you give them your share code, you know, they type it in, makikita nga yung visa mo. I'm not sure, ako frankly, na that's going to work, no? Dahil nga, especially kung you're traveling in or out or into the United Kingdom. I mean, alam naman natin na ang bagal na nga ng pila, no? I can't see really airport staff really having time to check, no? Dahil silang kailangan mag-check. They will likely not accept na sulat nga lang galing sa inyo or indeed a print screen, no? So I'm not sure that it's going to work. And to be frank, I also don't see the logic behind, you know, getting rid of the cards, the BRPs. That it's a bit like, you know, it's a bit like having your passport or driver's license. It's actually good to have as proof na, you know, you have proper status in the UK, na pwede kang mag-aral dito, pwede kang magtrabaho, pwede kang magrenta nga ng bahay, ganoon. You see, it's actually quite a useful thing to have, I think, you know. So it's a bit of a shame na yung gagawin nga nila. Yun, at least yun ang plano. I'm not convinced that it's going to work, and there's a little bit of time still for the government to think about it. That of course, 31st of December 2024 is still 18 months or a bit more. So I do think I hope they rethink it. Sorry, I digress. So Thea, ang sagot ko ito. Tingnan mo yung visa mo, no? So yung visa mo, kung hindi pa matatapos 31st December 2024, yun ang kailangan mong sundan. So it's 28 days, usually the guidance say, 28 days before your visa, not the BRP, but the visa is going to finish. So yun. Okay, question po to galing kay Carmela. Carmela M. Hello, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. My partner is coming to the UK with a standard visitor's visa. And ang plano po sana naming magkaroon ng civil wedding sa Philippine Embassy this end of this August 2023. Required po bang marriage visitor's visa ang i-apply niya? Thanks and happy viewing. Carmela, yes, is kung yun ang plano. So the idea is to marry in the United Kingdom. It doesn't matter that it's happening at the Philippine Embassy. Or indeed at registrar nga dito, ang kailangan mong ipasok o kailangan niyong ipasok yung marriage visitor visa, which doesn't really make any difference. Yung nga lang, you need to explain na ito nga ang balak nyo. And you probably, ang payo ko din, you should submit a document from the Philippine Embassy, no booking nga, that's what you intend to do. But yeah, the proper way of doing it would be to apply for the marriage visitor visa. Importante din yung Camela, that if you apply for the standard visitor visa with the view, but actually ang plano nyo is to get married in the United Kingdom, pwede sabihin ng Home Office, well, in that case, you lied, no? Or he lied in his application. Dahil nga, in fact, hindi nga lang siya bibisita dito. The idea is to, in fact, marry. Now, beware, Carmela, na kung kahit nga kasal na nga kayo dito, it does not, kung marriage visit visa ang pagpasok niya, it does not entitle you to swap in the United Kingdom. So, kailangan yung bumalik sa atin, tapos magpasok ng application as spouse to come back into the UK. They will not allow a variation from a visit visa, kahit nga marriage visit visa, to that of a spouse in the United Kingdom. So kung ang plano nyo, dito na nga siya, papasok siya dito, kakasal nga kayo, hindi na siya lalabas. Hindi pwede itong marriage visit visa. ang kailangan yung ipasok ay fiancé visa. Pagkakasal na kayo, then you swap it over to spouse visa. Pero kung fiancé visa, pagpasok niya dito, hindi niya kailangang bumalik sa atin. So, tuloy-tuloy na nga dito. Yung nga lang, kung fiancé visa nga siya, 6 months nga lang bibigay sa kanya, pero kailangan pa rin pakita lahat ng most of the conditions actually required by spouse visa. So, kung yun, ang balak nyo, then it would be fiancé entering to the UK. Pagka nandito na siya, she then swaps it to a spouse visa. But beware, hindi siya pwedeng magtrabaho dito was fiancé visa siya. So kahit nagpasok na kayong panibagong application to a spouse, hindi pa rin po pwede. Okay? Until he gets a spouse visa. So be careful. Okay, galing po to kay Cora. Cora B. Yeah. Hi to you both, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Magtatanong lang po ako sana sa family visa dito sa UK. Pwede po ba na mag-bank account lang ang partner ko? Pwede po ba bank account lang ng partner ko ang gagamitin ko sa pag-a-apply? Kasi po, hindi kami makapag-apply ng joint account dahil naka-visit visa lang po ako sa UK. Bali 2 times na po ako naka-visit visa dito sa UK. Maraming salamat po. Okay, Cora, I'm making one assumption, no, na nandito ka, may visa ka pa rin, visit visa, babalik ka sa atin, no? Yung nga lang ihinahanda nyo na yung family, presumably spouse visa nga in application in the United Kingdom. Kung yun ang sitwasyon nyo, so nandito ka, bumibisita ka, babalik ka sa atin, magpapasok ng application either sa fiancé, for example, o kaya as a spouse, kung kasal na nga kayo, o kakasal nga kayo sa atin, then absolutely, hindi nila kailangan ang joint account. Ang kailangan nilang makita na sapat yung pera nung partner mo. So, kailangan niya pakita nga yung bank statements niya, I would say minimum of 12 months, no? At saka with that, yung payslips nga niya, no? So, yung bank statement niya, pagka nakita nila, they're looking for really 2 things. Una nga, is he managing his income well? Also, yung gusto nang makita, yung sweldo niya, dun bumabagsak sa bank statement niya, no? So, you need to be able to show that. So, hindi bali nga na wala nga kayong joint account. That's not the main purpose, no? But of course, kailangan nyo din pakita pa rin na, in fact, the relationship is genuine. But you show that using other things. So, kung meron kayong prepare nga statement, o kaya meron kayong mga pictures nga together. And anyway, makikita naman nila, dahil bisa ka, makikita nila, may tatak kailan ka dumating nga dito. So, kung sitwasyon nga labas-pasok ka nga dito, no, binibisita mo sila ngayon, siya ngayon nag-usap nga kayo, you've decided actually you want to make the UK your home, then that's fine, no? You can do that. Yung nga lang kailangan mo umuwi sa atin, tapos papasok ka nga dito. Pero hindi nyo kailangan ng joint account. That's not really that's not necessary. It can be useful though, no? Kung hindi nga kayo ikakasal and you're making an application under the partner route, unmarried partner route. So, yun, ibig sabihin, kailangan yung pakita na you 2 years minimum together. And bank statements are a good way of showing na talagang you've been together for that length of time. But I suspect that's not your case dahil nga labas-pasok ka dito sa visit visa. So yeah, hindi nyo kailangan ang joint account. Pero kailangan pakita ng sponsor mo, ng partner mo nga, na yung bank account nga niya. And you know what I sometimes also do for my clients, kung pinapadalang kanya ng pera, I don't know if kung sabihin natin meron kang maintenance nga galing sa kanya, o kung ikaw nagpapadala sa kanya pera, that's likely to show on the bank statements. So, kung nagpapadala siyang pera sa'yo, o nagpapadala kang pera sa kanya, ang payo ko din, put your name down, no? So, may reference, lagay yung pangalan mo. So, kung ang pangalan mo LIRA, no? O ang pangalan niya LIRA, no? From LIRA. Yeah? So, makikita nila, nagpapadala siya ng pera sa iyo. Or, as I say, vice versa. So, good luck, no? Keep us informed, Cora. Hopefully that goes well for you. spouse applications can be notoriously difficult at the moment. Kailangan mag-ingat, ha? So, yeah, just beware. Now comes my favorite part of our segment po natin, the batian. And of course, one of my favorite people, si Oliver Fernandez. A great start to the day on our side of the pond. There's a lot to be excited about as Attorney Lira, Kuya Sonny, and Derek Pao bring us another day of jargon busting. I love this, man. Here on our favorite Thursday learning program, Immigration Corner. Then Oliver, that you are such a charming man. Not that pagka nandito ka sa if you come to visit London, we must see each other. Oh, Miss Paner, how Maria Galicia Paner, I love this woman. Now, hello po, magandang gabi po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay healthy and stay safe. Always God bless us po. You know, God bless Miss Paner. I hope you had a good Easter, no? And you celebrated it nicely. Oh, the lovely Edgardo. Mr. Enriquez. Happy Thursday. He's so clever. Happy Thursday and Easter to Mr. Laragan, Attorney Lira, and hard-working Derek Pao, and to the viewers. Arrived this morning coming from Israel. Wow. We're in Jerusalem since Good Friday. We went to Holy, I can't pronounce it. How do you say that? Someone help me. Sepulcher, yeah, where Mount Golgotha was, where Jesus was crucified. It's very busy in the old city of Jerusalem since the Jewish are celebrating Passover, okay? Where they got their freedom from the Egyptians. That's true. Looking forward to lots of learning again today. Thanks, Edgar. Thanks, Edgar. No. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, kailan ka babalik, Edgardo? I mean, it's now, of course, it's now after Easter. But tell us when you're back. Oh, si Ma'am Cora. Hi, Ma'am Cora. Oh, I always get so excited to get messages from Ma'am Cora. Hello, Sir Sonia, Attorney Lira, Direct Pao, and many thanks again for imparting as immigration laws and that we share to our fellows needing them. Masaya and fruitful Huwebes sa inyong lahat. Oh, salamat po, Ma'am Cora. She's such a lovely woman, Ma'am Cora. No? Yeah, say nga din, masaya and fruitful Huwebes din sa iyo po. Oh, the Libro clan. I'm so excited to get messages from the Libro clan. Masayang Thursday night. Maaraw, ulan, at malamig na gabi. Tama ka. You are so right, Trudy. Kaninang umaga, I woke up and I thought, okay, all right, sunny. So maybe, maybe a dress, no, para sa opisina. Tapos, binuksan ko yung bintana. Ay, nako, napakalamig. So, I put on the trouser suits plus layers nga. So, hence the jacket nga ngayon, ano. So, tama ka, no? Maaraw, ulan. So, hindi pa po ako tapos. Balik natin. Balik natin. Sorry. I digress. Maaraw, ulan at malamig na gabi. Attorney Lovely Lira, Sir Sonny, Cutie Snooky, Super Sir Edgar, Direct Lovely Paula, and all happy viewers. God bless us all, Team Libroho. Salamat po, no, Mr. Libroho. He's such a lovely man. And yeah, regards to the family, happy Easter, or belated Easter. Analu, oh, I love your new picture, Analu. Analu Antipueso. Amazing Thursday evening po, Attorney Lira. Kuya Sonny, Direct Pao, and all viewers. Keep safe, everyone. God bless, Analu. Hopefully you had a good Easter, no? I love the photo. Ninfa, good evening, Attorney Lira, Sir Sonny, and all. Hi, Ninfa. Hopefully you are well. Happy Easter po, no? Belated happy Easter. And it's hopefully you inside napakalamig. Virginia Ilona, good evening, Attorney Lira and Sonny. Greetings from Gothenburg, Sweden. A blissful springtime. Good luck. God bless. Virginia. Hopefully hindi gaano malamig dyan. No? I suspect it's probably even colder, no? Ngayon sa Sweden. I'm not really sure what happened to the weather. Just biglang lumamig uli, no? Oh, galing po ito kay Mario Sandre Enache. What a lovely evening po sa ating lahat, especially Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. We finally came here in Bristol. Ah, talaga? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, how are you in Bristol, Mario? Hopefully you're well, no? Oh, si May. May Tigbao Vargas. 518? Okay. Good evening, Attorney Lira, Kuya Sonny Daragpao, and to all the viewers watching from Exeter, Devon. Happy Thursday. Hopefully, nasa loob ka, no? May dahil napakalamig nga ngayon. I'm not sure what happened. It was sunny, no? A few days ago. At saka it was quite warm also. Biglang lumamig uli. Hindi nga lang yung umuulan pa, no? But there you go. Never mind. Oh, si Marilyn Jones, the lovely, lovely Miss Jones. I know Miss Jones from old. No, we're both. I mean, I don't mean that you're old, Miss Jones. No, you never get old. But yeah, I know her from a long time ago. A cold Thursday evening to all, especially Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Looking forward to an informative night. God bless you. So hopefully you enjoyed our migration jargon, no? And that it's useful. I mean, I hope that you've all enjoyed it. I certainly have. No, I really love touching base, and it's batian is my favorite part of the segment. But I also enjoy talking about our topics. And ang topic nga ang ating ngayon is I think quite a useful one. Now, yung nga lang, I'm so sorry, wala nga si Sonny ngayon, and I miss him. I'm sure we all miss him, and I'm sure he'll be back now with us next week. But in the meantime, I hope that you have enjoyed, my company. I certainly have enjoyed yours, and I hope you liked the topic and you found it nga informative, no? So. Pero kung meron kayong mga questions po, or I've not actually dealt with maybe some topics, or meron kayong follow-up questions, no? Email nyo ko sa CABATBAT, ito pong detail ko CABATBAT at Douglas tapos -simon.com. Telephone number po namin 0203-375-0555. Better though to email me, no? Because it's quite difficult to get a hold of me by phone. At maganda nga, pagka mag-email kayo, kung gusto nyo ilagay Tagalog, hindi nga din yung problema nga. Pero lagay nyo po sa subject, Immigration Corner. Because I must say, I'm quite bad at, I read my emails, usually sa gabi. I shouldn't really do that, dahil hindi ako makatulog afterwards. But I do read my emails at all hours nga. Tapos I close it. Now, if you don't put Immigration Corner, I will not find it again, no? So, lagay yung Immigration Corner. So, once a week, I try and go through nga my Immigration Corner emails, and then you'll suddenly find that I'm calling you. So, huwag nyo din kalimutan, kung pwede, nga lang, lagay nyo din telephone number nyo, no? And I'll try and give you a call back, or otherwise, I'll email you back, yeah? But yung nga, lagay nyo nga kung gusto nyo itagalogin, hindi nga din problema. But email me, ito pong email namin. Now, yung nga, sabi ko kanina, yung topic po natin ngayon, the immigration jargon, explained, ilalagay ko yung po sa website namin, no? And our website has, usually we upload there nga, articles, immigration and other things nga, no? So it may also be helpful to you. Feel free to go through it, So, all you have to do, if you Google it nga, or you again, www.Douglas, dalawang S po tapos -Simon, so SIMON, .com, no? Kung lagay nyo nga yun, our website will come up. If you go to the news section, nandun po yung mga articles ko. It would be, it normally, the titles are there. So whatever interests you most, you just click on it and feel free, download it, pass it on. I don't mind at all. Just hopefully it's of help. And if you find it doesn't really, maybe it doesn't cover what you're looking what you're looking for, email me. And as I say, I can't promise that I will always know the answer, but I may be able to point you at least in the right direction. Yeah. And if I know the answer, of course, no problem. Happy to help nga. Now. Gosh, ang bilis ng, wow, it's already nearly 9 o'clock. Ang bilis. It's I know, look, I say this all the time because it is the case. I so enjoy being with you. I miss Sonny, no? But thank goodness nandiyan si Paula. Without Paula, I'm off air. Okay, so I will always be grateful. I'm not sure everyone is nga, no? So hopefully that was as enjoyable for you as it was certainly enjoyable for me, no? And I hope you will join us nga again next week, next Happy Thursday. So at 7:30, and again, hopefully dealing with another immigration interesting topic, no? Just leaves me now then to say, well, look, good night for me, and of course Paula, um, and I'm sure a good night also from Sonny. We miss you, Sonny. No, so good night from all of us, to you and yours. No, and I hope to see you nga next week. No, happy Thursday po. So Lira Simon Kabatbat, and with Paula signing off for the moment. Good night.